Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay and this is Kay Unscripted. Today we're going to be discussing season 8 of Love is Blind, episode 1. But before we get into all the juiciness of episode 1, I just want to take some time to thank everyone who has supported thus far. Thank you if you're coming back to my videos, thank you for coming back. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you just go ahead and like my videos, subscribe to my channel for more content on any reality TV shows or any series, because I'm a series girly. And let's just get this community going. So again, I just want to take some time to thank you all so much for the support so far. So episode 1 is called I Have a Husband. So we're introduced with Nick and Vanessa Lachey, and they go ahead and they welcome the single ladies and the single men to Love is Blind season 8. And they also mention that this is the biggest season that they have throughout the years. There are more selections in the singles. And then we have Nick Lachey, who's telling them that it's not about their looks, it's not about their race or their age or their background or their income, but is love truly blind? So the polls are now open and the singles, I don't know why I keep saying the couples, but the singles are now ready to start the dating process. And first we have Daniel, and again he's speaking about his height. To some women, height is not even a factor as long as you're confident in who you are. So I feel like he's putting too much emphasis on his height. So the first couple sitting together is Daniel and Taylor. Taylor is saying that she has been waiting her whole life to meet her husband, and Daniel is being all cute and he's like, okay, well, maybe he's right in front of you, and she's like, are you on a knee? And he goes down on a knee and I find that to be so cute. So Taylor asks him, what do you need from a woman in a relationship? So Daniel talks about starting a family and wanting to have kids, and Taylor agrees that she also wants the same thing. So these two are vibing and they're connecting. Could this possibly be a couple? Let's wait and see what happens. So our next pair sitting together is Devin and Brittany. I seriously botched her name in my last video, so it's Brittany and not Brittany. And immediately these two start giving each other pet names. So she says that her friends call her B Dot, and Devin now says, well, you could call me D-Buck. And I think that was really cute too. There are a lot of cute moments, and can I just say that Brittany is a very gorgeous girl, and that blue outfit she has on her, she looks so beautiful. And these two, they vibe over basketball. So Devin says that one of his biggest goals in life is to be a great dad, and so he asks Brittany if she wants to have kids, and she says as many kids as her husband wants. She's really open to that. And she also says that she wants to have a strong foundation before bringing children into this world, and to start a family and write her own rules. And I think that's really important, that children come into this world with a strong foundation, because they don't ask to be here. When a couple comes together and they have children, you should have a solid foundation for those children. Next, we see Devin and Virginia sitting together, getting to know each other. So far, Virginia is my favorite person so far on the show. I really like her. I really like her vibe. She looks really girly. She looks very soft. And she looks like she has a really big heart. So they're getting to know each other, and Devin says that he's a sneakerhead. He has over 100 pairs of sneakers, and that's wild. And he's also a foodie, and she says she's a foodie as well. He loves going out to new restaurants and trying different foods. They also discover that they went to the same high school. Isn't that crazy? They also connect over basketball, and he asks her if it doesn't bother her that he's a little bit younger than her, and she says no, because age doesn't always come with maturity, and I really agree with that statement, because somebody could be younger and they could be more mature than someone who is, older. So I really agree with her saying that. Next, we meet Joey, who just cannot stop. He just cannot stop comparing himself to a dog. Joey, you really need to stop, because if you keep saying you're a dog, you're going to have dog tendencies. So please stop with the golden retriever vibes, please. So we see Joey and Monica getting to know each other. He asks her what is something that she would do to make herself feel comfortable, and she says, take a nap. Please, we don't want anybody getting pissed off again with a woman taking a nap, so let's not even go back there. So Monica says that she's always listening to music and she loves every type of music except country music. So Monica talks about how she has a big family and how they are very tight-knit, and Joey also says that he's very close to his family. Joey also says that he's very close with his sisters and he considers them to be his best friends, and Monica says that this is a green flag for her. Next, we see David and Monica sitting together, and immediately I do not like David. He asks all these women, why are you here? What's wrong with you? Well, David, what's wrong with you? Why are you here? He goes on to say that he has been an a-hole to women, and he still is an a-hole to women. He says that he wants to correct that about himself, and then he goes on to say that he's been around women who do facelifts, all of those different cosmetic surgeries on themselves, and that has changed his perception on what a woman should look like. So David sits with Lauren and he asks her age, and she says she's 32. And this man has the audacity to say, oh, so you're no longer attractive. Immediately, I would have walked out of that room. And after insulting Lauren, he says that he was just joking. Don't go insulting people and say that you're just joking. People, be careful with that. Do not allow anybody to insult you or to give a bad joke about you and to say they're just joking. They actually really do mean that. So David says something about himself, and I'm happy that he is very observant and he's very self-aware. He says that he's a shallow person and he doesn't want to be that way and he's trying to change it. However, he said that he's coming to the experience so that he can change that about himself. And I just feel like if you know something about yourself, why wait to meet somebody to change that specific thing if you know it's been an issue or it's problematic throughout your life? Why not work on that? Why not work on yourself first before, committing to a relationship? So next we see David and Molly sitting together and they're getting to know each other. She says that she has not had a boyfriend and it's just a personal choice. And so David talks about how he went to a Catholic school, and Molly says that she also went to a Catholic school. So that's something that the two of them have in common. And then he says that he has a great relationship with his family, and his parents are not together because his mom passed away 6 years ago. His mom wants him to do the right thing. She's always wanted him to have integrity, and he hasn't always had it. And you could see how much that weighs on him, because maybe throughout his life or from the time his mom has passed away, he hasn't been able to live up to what her expectations of him were. Seeing that David and Lauren were just connecting and the two of them were vibing, and seeing that he's also vibing with Molly, is this a love triangle waiting to happen? This is interesting. Next we meet Alex, and he's sharing his story of how he was bullied when he was in high school, and My heart really just melted for Alex because you can tell he's a really nice person and you could tell he has a great personality too. And him just sharing his experience is something that you would see on a movie, right? So it's just crazy to me that there are actually people, real life mean girls, who actually treat people that way, and no one should have to go through that sort of thing. And just him talking about it, you could tell that it is still kind of a sensitive spot for him, and it's such a sad situation that he had to go through. And I love how what Alex went through did not change him. It did not change his heart. He is still the warm, caring person that he has always been. And I think that says so much about him. It says so much about who he is, because a lot of times, based on what we go through in our lives, it causes us to change and to become a different person, to have our walls up and to be a certain type of way because of how damaging that experience was. And I can see for him it hasn't changed anything about him, and I think that's something that's very commendable about Alex. So Alex is on a date with Madison and they're talking. She's speaking about her upbringing and how she's always kind of been busy, and so they both connect on how much they love to travel. And Madison asks him what does he look for in a relationship, and he says he just wants somebody who's kind. And so Madison says for her it's really important that people feel safe with her, and he's like, check, you're saying all of the right words. Madison opens up to him about her rough childhood, and she shares that her parents had her when they were really young. They were 19 and her mom was in a rehab facility, but she said that her parents had her by accident. And I think that's really just sad for someone to think of themselves as an accident baby. No child is an accident. You were brought into this earth for a reason. You have a purpose. And Madison, you're not an accident, and you shouldn't. I guess I understand the concept of maybe it wasn't a planned pregnancy, but I don't think for most people that pregnancies are planned. It happens. And so for her to label herself as an accident baby, it kind of says how she feels probably detached from her family. She shares of her strained relationship with her mom and how she's always felt like she is the parent in the relationship, and she's always had to be a parent to her mom, and sometimes the relationship becomes a little too much. But she loves her mother, and I think that's really important. And I will say, as someone who has lost their mom, I understand it, but I will say that everyone has a right to feel what they feel and how they feel based on what the dynamics of the relationship is. But let me tell you, it's 10 times worse not having that person around and not being able to talk to them no matter what is going on in your life for the rest of your life. That is even a worse feeling. In the end, that is the worst type of feeling to ever feel. She speaks about wanting to break generational curses and how she wouldn't want to bring that into her own family, and I give her props for that, and I really wish that for her. I also really love how she gives her mom so much grace, because her mom maybe had to deal with so many things in her life. And Alex is sharing his story about how he was bullied so badly and how it affected his academics, and how he feels like his family is disappointed in him because they're all about education and academics, and that just wasn't what he could have lived up to because of what he had to deal with in school. And I could see that a lot of parents put such a strain on their children. Education is important, and you need to have a certain level of education to have a good future, but I can understand how what he went through would have affected his academics. But to kick your son out of the house because he wasn't performing at school, that is crazy. And I feel that, sometimes we need to be a little bit more compassionate. Okay, my son or my daughter isn't performing the way they're supposed to. How can I help them? Should they get extra lessons? Should they get a tutor? Okay, he's being bullied at school. Maybe we should do homeschooling. Maybe that will help him. And that's just really sad that, Alex had to go through those, that's just really sad. I don't even know what to say. Next, we see Madison walking into a pod and she is going on a date with Mason. He's telling her how much he has been looking forward to going on a date with her. So they talk about their similarities and how they are both creative people. He asks her if she has any nicknames, and she said her friends call her Mads. And she asks him the same question, and he says his nieces call him Uncle Macy. And I think that's so cute. So they're Mads and Macy. Next, we see Mason and Meg. And immediately, Meg is definitely a chatterbox. Meg is just talking and talking and talking, and she's not even giving him a chance to respond. It's like, girl, relax, take a deep breath and let the man talk. Let the man get some words in. And she's going on about ghosts and ants and all type of craziness. She's just going on, and Mason is trying to seem interested, and he's trying to act like he understands what she's talking about, but he has no clue. He's just letting her talk, and he's just like, yeah, But girl, I don't have a clue what's going on with Meg, but she needs to just take a little chill pill. Meg is definitely an interesting character, I will say that. Next, we see David and Molly are on another date, and he's talking about how he's always holding a pillow. He's always caressing a pillow. I don't know what is his obsession with holding pillows. When he's watching a movie, when he's sleeping, when he's chilling on the chair or the couch or sofa, whatever you want to call it, he always has to hold on to a pillow. So now Mr. David is asking Molly what are her thoughts on sex. And I don't know how quickly the dates are going, but I just feel like it's really early to be talking about sex already. But anyways, Molly says that she thinks it's important to make your partner happy. She likes to ask a lot of questions and to be her best, to perform her best, I suppose. He tells Molly that they're perfect for each other. And immediately after his date with Molly, he's having a date with Lauren. That's interesting. Let's see how this date goes. So Lauren tells him that her dad's name is also Dave because he calls himself Dave. They talk about their siblings and how they're very protective over them. And so David goes into a little bit more detail of how much his sister did not approve of him coming to the show. He then tells Lauren that his sister said, "Oh, I don't think any of these girls are good enough for you. Sister, chill, you need to relax because you do not even know those women. Why are you being so judgmental?" But David says that it's his life and pretty much saying that his sister does not influence his decision. And Lauren is like, "Well, tell me what I need to do to be your sister's bestie." Lauren, why? Why are you trying to suck up to this girl? If somebody doesn't like you, they will never like you. And if they want to like you, they will like you. So don't try to get, any hints or clues on how to suck up to this girl. Go through the process. And if he's your person and she loves her brother enough and she's genuine, the process is genuine, she will love you, Then next we see Daniel and Taylor. They're going on another date, and Taylor is a little bit hoarse. "Girl, what happened to your voice?" And in this moment, she's sounding like Sandy from the ultimatum. I don't know, for some reason I'm seeing so many similarities in some of these singles who are on Love is Blind season 8. I don't know what is going on. Is it me, or do you know, the way she's speaking, like her voice is really raspy. I don't know if she's getting a cold or something, but her voice is kind of sounding like Sandy. So they're just reassuring each other on how much they really enjoyed their conversations with each other and how much they were so excited to sit down and just talk to each other again. I'm liking these two. And Taylor is also reassuring him and telling him how much it solidified for her when he spoke of his sister and starting a family and making reference to the mother of my child. And for her, it's just confirming that he's really serious about the process and he's really committed to being in a relationship. And she tells him that she feels at home when she talks to him, and I think that is so cute. I really hope these two make it to the end. And then we have Devin and Brittany, and they're talking about mac and cheese. And Brittany says that she loves cheese, but cheese doesn't love her. And then in the next scene, we see Devin and Virginia. They're on a date, and she's talking about how she was in a singing group and they were called Future Destiny's Child. And I think that's so funny. And he's asking her, well, sing for me. And she's like, I am not a singer. Girl, how could you be Future Destiny's Child and you cannot sing? Make it make sense. Next, we see Joey and Monica. They're on a date. And Monica shares that her favorite movie is The Sound of Music. And Joey says he loves that movie. She says it's her family movie and they love it very much. He said he's watched the movie over 5,000 times. Joey, why are you lying? Because we both know you haven't watched that movie for 5,000 times. But I guess you're trying to impress Monica, and she's like, oh my God, stop it. And he's like, my grandma was really obsessed with that movie. And he's telling her everything. He's telling her everything that she wants to hear. So I guess it's now their movie because they're literally quoting lines in the movies. I don't know, but these two are a little bit of a weird couple for me. But, you know, Joey goes on to share how he chose to go to a college that was close by because his sister was so close and his parents were divorced, and that he had to help his mom and his younger sister, and he just didn't want to be away from his sister because she was so sick. He said that this was something really tough for him to go through, and I'm wondering if he probably lives with a little bit of regret. Maybe not because of the fact that his sister did pass, but maybe what his life would have been if he went to a different college instead of staying close enough to be with his family, or if he's just saying that having to, you know, go through that experience with his helping his mom and being there for his sister was just really something difficult that he had to go through. And Joey goes on to say that his mom is really nice, but she's naive and very terrible with money. Now, Joey, why are you blasting your mother on national TV? Why does everybody have to know that your mom is naive and she cannot handle money? Why are you telling everybody that, Joey? If I was your mom, I would be whooping your butt for putting my business out there. We see David and Lauren again back on another date, and she asks him what is a non-negotiable for him, and he says he doesn't know. And she says for her, it's the way her partner fits into her family. And he says, well, I am great at that, so don't worry about it, Lauren. I can do that. So they continue to talk about their life, and she says that she's a little bit of a party girl, and David says that he doesn't really see that in her because she sounds so cute and so innocent, and that was a bit of a shock for him. And she says that people often think of her as this nice little girl and whatever, but she likes to have fun, she likes to stand up for herself, and she likes to party sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that, Lauren. David talks about his tattoos, which are notes that his mom left for him. He talks about one of the tattoos being his home address, and that was the home he grew up with. And after his mom passed away, his dad sold the house, and he kind of has some guilt because he never got to, go to the house, visit the house. I guess to get some sort of closure. And so in that moment, Lauren just comforts him and tells him to not be hard on himself. Everything happens for a reason. Don't look at it as a mistake. And she tells him that there's no wrong or right way to grieve, and he probably felt like he did what was right or felt right to him. And I really like how she's just coming in to comfort him. And I honestly, looking at the relationship between David and Molly versus David and Lauren, I really see these two having more of a deeper connection than what he has with Molly. And so David is telling Lauren that he's never felt the things that he's feeling to her. He didn't come into the date thinking that he would feel that way. But I'm just like, David, didn't you just tell Molly kind of the same things? And surprise, surprise, his next date is with Miss Molly. So they begin the date, and he's asking her about tattoos, and she's telling him about all of the tattoos that she has, and that she has one on her butt. And he's amused by her butt tattoo. This just solidifies what I feel about the connection that David and Molly have. I think it's more of a sexual thing. Maybe they're just sexually attractive to each other because they've spoken about sex. And I get that we only get to see a snippet of what happens in the pods. But I just feel like these two do not have a deep connection like what he has with Lauren. David, didn't you just tell Lauren how much you have feelings for her? And now you're telling Molly that you like her so much. I'm telling you, this is a love triangle waiting to happen. So next we see Molly and Madison talking. They're speaking about their dates. And she asked Molly who she's seeing or who's her number one. And she says, Dave. However, Lauren joins the conversation. And right away, Molly asks her, how was her date? And she says, it was very validating and it was good. So here comes Molly Malls. She's saying she don't care who's seeing her guy. And she's like, I know those that know that I'm on a date with him know it's me, and I don't care. And Lauren says, well, I don't know who it is. And she's like, it's Dave. And Molly's like, oh, okay, got it. And you could literally see Lauren. You could literally see Lauren sinking in her chair because that's who she's dating and that's who she was just talking about. So this is an interesting dynamic. She doesn't tell Molly that she's also seeing Dave. And this episode ends with Molly saying, I have a husband. That's crazy. That's funny. Oh my god. So guys, we have come to the end of episode 1 of Love is Blind season 8. What do you think of the episode so far? Do you have a favorite person? Who are you feeling? Who are you not feeling so far from who we've seen? So let's talk about it in the comment section. If you haven't already, please, this is your moment. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and you could also comment on the video. Share your views. Let's talk about it in the comments. And I will see you next time with episode 2 of Love is Blind season 8. See you next time, guys.